So hello again, Choro-Q collectors. I very often learn about real cars by collecting scale 1/64th vehicles, but today I'm actually learning about, a real truck because of a Choro-Q, a cartoon car. I just bought this because it had a lot of cool paint apps on it. It looked like a cool toy. I didn't realize this was actually a real vehicle in real life. So what we're looking at here is the Lamborghini LM002, and let's see, is Z-72, so the 72nd version of Choro-Q to be put out. Let's get this guy open. Alrighty, so the blister, it has separate mirrors, but I don't put them on because I know I'm going to just break them off whenever I drop it, pulling it out for another review. Okay, so what did I learn about this truck we're looking at here? So first, excuse me, the LM002, the Rambo Lambo, was the first production truck by Lamborghini. But there was a Formula 1 driver called Henry Pescarolo. He was a Formula 1 driver in the past, and 4-time winner of Le Mans, so a really successful race car driver. He wanted to race this thing. He saw the potential of this giant beast. And when I say beast, this thing weighed like 2,700 kilograms or 5,952 pounds. So the weight of 2 or 3 vehicles this thing was. It had a 5.2 liter or an optional 7.2 liter V12, making 600 horsepower, I think. No, that's the racing version. Never mind. Well, this picture you see, this thing had a 600 horsepower engine and a 600 liter fuel tank because it sucked down gas like no tomorrow, apparently. Okay, so anyways, Henry Pescarolo convinced Lamborghini to make this the very first official factory race car. Lambo didn't like racing because he knew it was a waste of cash. Racing costs a lot of money. Okay, but they had a falling out apparently with their agreement, so they handed the car over to a rally champion, Sandro Munari, from Italy, and he was the 1977 World Rally Champion. But then Chrysler got into the ownership of Lamborghini and they shelved the project. They raced a couple of events, but it never was successful, and then Chrysler did the proper financial thing and shelved the project. But then a privateer, Andrea Barenghi, I think he bought back the vehicle, and then in 1996 he raced in the Paris-Dakar Rally. But the thing was just too heavy. Each tire weighed 36 kilograms or 80 pounds, and so he went through 24 different shocks before he finally had to give up the race. Because moving 80 pounds up and down at a high speed constantly, yeah, the shocks just wore out. So 24 different dampers were replaced before he gave up the race. Alright, so quite an interesting story. So let's take a look at this model now. So yeah, the red wheels do match that photograph pretty well. Yeah, maybe some black would be nice there in the lug nuts, but this stripe also is similar to the real race vehicle. So I just bought it because it had these stripes. I had no idea it was a real vehicle. Little door handle sticking out, door hinge as well. I don't know what this round thing is. Maybe it's the fuel filler on the normal vehicle? I'm not sure. If anyone could guess, leave a comment. There are some protruding rectangles here for what I assume would be reflectors. Although I don't see them on the race car, so that's probably why they left them blank. I know that Choro-Q has other colors. Maybe they're colored on the regular colorways. Alright. So then we have some silver in the headlights, and then we have some orange here for these markers, and then the black grille is alright. Yeah, it's missing the 2 fog lights that I see, but maybe I'm pretty sure they casted this to be a regular road vehicle, not the race car. Alright, so then we have black up here, some vent details, this giant bulge here. I don't know what this bulge is. Is that like the air filter there? Please leave a comment if you know. This side no different than the other. Oh, what's this there? A little black gunk. Yeah, alright, so that can be removed. And then the back here, we have the little sticker. It's an LM002, Z-72. We have the nice lights, printed nicely. This Lambo badge, yeah, that's printed really well. You know, it's fully legible. The bullet even looks nice. Sorry about the cat hair. We have 2 silver exhausts coming out. It seems to be a separate piece. I don't know what that's attached to. Yeah, it's just a separate piece. Some vent details as well. And then we have the bed, perfectly smooth. Some cushions or something there. And it's nice to see that the guardrails, you know, they're actually floating. They could have been lazy and had this blanked off here, but they literally have it floating like a real handrail, so that's nice. And a little spare tire cover. This slot is for it to hold a coin, so when you wind it back, it'll do a wheelie with that weight. But it would go on its own. It'll go really fast, by the way. You're gonna wind it up further than that. Alright, so it tells you what the vehicle is, so that's nice. It'll also tell you what model, where it is in the series. That's great. And then this is the production code. So it says 2020, and Z would be the 12th month of the year, so December 2020. Screwed together in the front, and probably under this is a hook to hook it into the back. That canopy is actually a smoked plastic, I think. Yeah, you can see the pick. Although it's really hard to know. Well, I guess you can kind of see the motor there. It's so dark, you know, you could mistake it for being painted black, but it's just a dark smoked plastic. Alright, so that's cool. Really cool history of this vehicle, even though it wasn't successful. I never knew they raced this thing. And then it's a Lamborghini, so pretty neat. Alright, let's compare it to a couple other models here. So yeah, this thing flying through the air, it's ruining some shocks for sure. It's such a heavy truck. So I have the 1/64 scale version made by ChoroQ, and this one just is in red. ChoroQ did a great job with this one. It also has floating handrails, plastic lights front and rear. It also has those rear brush guards and front brush guards. So very nicely done. And they even have a texture in the back area. So the foreshortening is just great. Let me move it to the back so when it spins around. Right, so it's like almost half the length. How they compressed it. Very cool. I like it. Alright, well, let's get that out of the way. So I have 3 other Lambos by this ChoroQ Zero collection. They're quite fantastic for toys. They're really nice. So going through time, we have a Miura for a supercar. Then my favorite, well, I don't know. As a kid, it was my favorite supercar. It's the Countach. And now maybe if you're a kid, you might like the Aventador. So a question for you guys. Which of these 4 do you like the most? You know, whether it's a cartoon version of this model or in real life, which Lambo do you guys like the most? I think I'd have to go with the Countach, because that was what I remember as a kid, you know, having a poster of it in my bedroom. But I think the LM002 is coming in a strong second, now that I know it was an actual raced vehicle. So, who would be driving this thing? I like to pull out some of these cartoonish characters. So we have R5D4 from Star Wars, you know, the droid that broke down on Tatooine. And this is made by Bandai. It's a Bandai Gashapon. Alright, well, if you like Lambos, I appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you like ChoroQs, you already know that you probably want this one. And if you're interested in maybe cartoon cars, I would have to give this ChoroQ Zero brand a full thumbs up. They're definitely expensive. I mean, they cost as much as premium regular 1/64 scale models, but I'm kind of at the point where I've collected most of the ones that I wanted there, so that's why I'm branching off into these cartoon cars. Alright, well, I will see you the next time again on the ChoroQ. Appreciate you watching.